Before I start this video, I want to do a huge shout out. Can jams are awesome. I love can jams. Allows me to hear new product. But for me to thoroughly evaluate things and do a review on things, of course I need to have it at home, have it on my chain, and be able to listen to it and do it well. So there's a huge shout out I have to give specifically to Music Tech, Andrew and Leo, because they've allowed me to bring a lot of the stuff from Can Jam home because I was really, really tired. And then again, it's not like a great place for me to get a really good basis on something. So huge shout out to Music Tech for allowing me to bring some really cool gear back to test and just being an awesome company and allowing me to borrow stuff to be able to review. So special thanks and thank you. All right, what's going on, everybody? So another fun one. This is a fun one. A couple of people have been asking. One's been beating me up about this review. So I think we're into something special in 2025. I don't think this has ever been done in the IEM world. And I think it's really, really, really super cool. It's something that should be kind of celebrated. We have done the Étoile IEM, and it's a phenomenal IEM. It's a reference, just one that has this amazing sound space, and you can look into it. And that was done by Jack Vang. Well, another IEM has been released this year. I have owned the Raven. The Raven was my first expensive IEM and adored the Raven, loved the Raven. Also owned the Odin, which was a beautiful IEM. Faceplate was awesome. The sound was awesome, loved it. And the Triton. So you can say that I've done reviews on all, I'm kind of a Empire Ear fanboy. So the Sun has Volk Audio Étoile, and now we're doing the review for the Odin Mark II, which is the father, Dean. And I don't think at any time in the IEM industry, a father and son have both introduced awesome IEMs in the same year. Like, just very, very good IEMs. So I think that's something to be noted and something that's really, really cool, a father and son, because they say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and wow, both bangers. So yes, today's review is going to be on the father's IEM, Dean Vang's Odin Mark II. All right, so the Empire Ears Odin Mark II. It retails for $4,299. It's an 11-driver quad brid. So it has dual W9 plus subwoofers, 2 precision balanced armature mid-range drivers, 3 high-frequency balanced armature drivers, dual electrostatic drivers for those ha-ha-has, and the dual bone conducting drivers. All right, let's look a little bit closer at the Odin Mark II. Now, I was an Odin owner, and the thing that drew me to the Odin was that Bifrost faceplate that was just so freaking beautiful. And Odin Mark II, I think, is different, but just as beautiful. I love the faceplate, and I love all the detail that you can see, the lettering, and just everything. I think it looks really nice. Here's the other one. So it's a beautiful faceplate. So I dig it a lot. I also like that the bodies now are metal, so it's a sturdier, much sturdier build, and a nice feeling build. It just enhances the quality of said faceplate when you've got this sturdy metal body. The cable is a nice cable. Haven't had any microphonics issues with it or any tangling issues with it. So yeah, pound for pound, I think Dean and the team did a great job on just the looks and construction and feel of the Odin Mark II. All right, so how does the Odin Mark II sound? So it's very interesting because the first time you hear the original Odin, it has this glorious soundstage, right? And the Odin Mark II expands on that, where you have this huge soundstage, tall, wide. There's depth to it. Instruments come out of spaces. There's a very dark background. Like, it has this wonderful sound. And I know a lot of people have been asking if the Odin Mark, or the original Odin, the Odin Mark II, how similar are they? And I feel like it's kind of changed a little bit because it's not a step up in a sense where it's like a more pronounced or more enhanced or what this or what that. The DNA is still there. But I almost feel like having owned the Raven and loving the Raven, that it's more in the step in that way where it's more of a neutral Raven in a sense. And I remember hearing this. I was blessed to hear this. When was it? Not this year's Can Jam New York, but the previous year's Can Jam New York, where I was able to hear the prototype, and I was really blown away by it then because of just the expansive soundstage. But with Ode Mark II, it's great. And it's one of those IEMs, we always talk about all-arounder IEMs. IEMs that you can just slap back, put your music on, listen to whatever genre of music you like listening to, and enjoy it. And to me, it's one of the best all-arounders out there. I listen to a voracious amount of music, but I also listen to a lot of different types of music, be it from classical to jazz to pop, soul, R&B, blues, some country, especially older country, and rock and roll. So all genres. And what struck me is how well it plays everything to me. And in a way where I can just lean back. Again, I've said this before, as a reviewer, some come in and you forget you're a reviewer because you're just enjoying the music. It's what I do this. I love listening to music. And if you can enhance that music enjoyment in a way where I can just sit back and, fade away and enjoy what I'm doing this for, it's amazing. So let's talk about bass. The original Odin had great texture. When it needed to boom, when it needed to hit, it hit. Same thing with Odin Mark II. It's got great extension, great mid bass, great sub bass. It can rumble, and the detail of the bass is awesome. So when you're switching from something like, anything like with Bill Lawrence, with the low piano, and you've got the high piano playing, and sometimes you have both of them playing, they both resonate beautifully. It sounds good, especially with the low notes, with the bass. String bass or just bass in Billie Eilish's Bury a Friend, it comes out and it sounds awesome. So the bass is there. It's one of those basses that I like because when you need it, it's there. When you don't need it, but you just need more of texture, it's there. So I really enjoyed the bass. I thought that was one of the great things about Odin, and I think Odin 2 enhances that some. It sounds great. The mids are just wide, deep, tall. Again, this thing stages kind of like the Storm stages in a way where it's just this huge stage. And voices sound lovely, male and female voices. Instruments sound extraordinary. Pianos, guitars, cellos, violins, whatever you throw at this thing, it's going to produce them in a beautiful way. Now, I know some people saw the treble and thought that this was going to be a darker IEM. I know a lot of people had issues with the upper mids and the lower treble of the original Odin. And what I can say to that is all the extensions there. It's not as dark to me as the Raven. So you've got a bit more air, and with the huge sound stairs and the separation between instruments. So there's treble enough there where it's not a dark IEM. I saw some people say that, and I don't find it dark at all. I think the extension's there, and I think there's enough air there. And it just makes things sound more natural. There's not an enhancement there. So when it comes to just all-around sound, I think this is a great IEM tuned very well to listen to multiple genres, threw everything at it. Heck, I've been on a Hall & Oates thing going recently. And, their music spans from the 70s to the 80s, and it changes in various ways. And it's sometimes fun listening to a great artist or two great artists. That music has changed over time because sounds change over time. The way things are produced are changed over time. And it'll let you know that even though it's sounds this way, but this IEM sounds great going through time. So I also like listening to a lot of like You Belong to Me from either the Carly Simon or the Doobie Brothers version with Michael McDonald singing. But I also listen to some Roberta Flack. Um, Man, I threw everything at it. Dolly Parton. So I went through a lot of like Jolene. Ugh, Jolene. But then went through my classical playlist, Max Richter, some Hans Zimmer, and with that huge, expansive, beautiful soundstage, the separation between the instruments, it's just a great all-around IEM where you can listen to multiple genres. So I think that, man, if you had the budget and you could float away, you could have both Odin 2 and Etoile and just float away because they both offer different things, and that's what makes it pretty cool. And it's a family affair. So to end this, I think that Odin 2 is not going to be tuned like the original Odin. It's got its own style, and I think that's what makes it special. Because also, too, I'd like to point out that the metal shell is awesome. It's so nice to have metal shell on an Empire IEM, aside from the Novus, which was with the Stellan Kern, but it's so nice to have that metal shell on that body because it's just the quality, especially the faceplate and the body is just really, really good. So when you add that plus the sound that comes from the Odin 2, I think it's a very darn good IEM. So, is the Odin 2 a buy? If you're out there and you've got the budget and you're looking for something that just, one of those IEMs that you can just throw in your ears and just enjoy, like forget that you have it in your ear and enjoy your music and listen to multiple genres and have live stuff sound live, just for all your music to sound really, really, really good, I think the Odin 2 is definitely one you should check out. It just plays well. It's also a really good looking IEM, and it's built really, really, really solid. So it's up to you. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask, and I will see you in the next video.